Hello students, welcome to StudyIQ. In this session, we are going to continue with sociology and we are going to discuss about a concept of moving equilibrium which is given by Parsons. Okay, now if you are new to this channel, if you are watching my video for the first time, please consider subscribing the channel. Let's go ahead with the topic. So we are going to discuss about moving equilibrium. So if you see the previous year papers, you can see these questions directly in 10 markers. Moving equilibrium, okay, mechanism, equilibrium, phase, like this questions always has asked. Okay, so directly if you see the syllabus, this topic is not there, but it is actually coming from a particular theory of Parsons, and you know that theory already. We have done with that discussion. The theory is nothing but social system. Okay, so social system theory we have discussed, but now the question is how you attempt this answer. This is going to be 10 marker. In no paper that this will be asked as a 20 marker. Okay, it is not having any worth or merit as to be asked as a 20 marker. Very short concept. So it will be 10 marker, but 10 markers are always jackpots. You should be in a position to score up to 8 marks. If the question especially is from thinkers and you are already very strong in thinkers now, I hope you might have attended all the sessions. If you have not attempted or attended the sessions, you can get all my videos over here. This is my Telegram channel, Zia Safir. Okay, so my name is Safir, Zia Safir is my Telegram channel, or this is my Instagram ID. Okay, so you can get in touch with me in this Instagram ID, or through the Telegram channel you will get access to all the videos. Thinkers we have done, almost important topics of sociology we have done and we have uploaded in YouTube. All the important topics which I consider for mains. Apart from that, the full classes are available. So if you wish to write a test series, or if you wish to write an answer writing program with me, this is my contact number 9790-892-697. Or if you need a live classes, regular classes, you can get in touch with me. These are my numbers, 98955-77775. Okay, so only for if you are interested in writing test or answer writing program with me. Otherwise, you can just join the Telegram channel. Whatever is available for free of cost in YouTube, you can get it over there. So this is if you're interested in test or anything, you can get in touch with me, mentorship or guidance or anything, you can get in touch with me over there. So let's move on to this particular question, moving equilibrium. I'll tell you how you approach this particular answer so that you will fetch 8 marks. Okay, see, everybody know this concept and everybody will be writing this concept. There is no doubt in this. If you are seriously preparing for this exam, if you have cleared prelims, means automatically you are preparing seriously. So everybody who's writing the mains and everybody who's opted for sociology will be knowing this concept, and if you are not knowing this concept, then you are not fit for the exam actually. If you are not, if you have already completed the syllabus, and if you are just watching this video, you know, to supplement your concepts or your notes, then still if you don't know, then you are not for, you know, this exam. So I'm expecting that everybody should be knowing this concept. If you are a fresher, it's fine. If you don't know, you can go through the videos. You can see my social system video, so that you will get complete idea about Parsons also over there. So moving equilibrium, what I'm saying is something which is known to all the aspirants, but everybody will write in such a way that everybody can score up to 4 to 6. But the smart people will write in a way that you will get up to 8 mark, and that means 80%. So you are here getting 80%. 80% is considered very important, and you have to score 80% if you're targeting around 170 plus. I've told you I consistently scored 170 plus 2 times in my mains in paper 1 alone. Okay, 2012 and 13. 2014 I have around 157. Okay, so it is very easy to score in paper 1. It is in your hands. Paper 2, it is unpredictable. So let's not discuss about paper 2 now. I'll come up with paper 2 videos later. Okay, so 170 plus, if you need to target, you need to target 80% in the 10 markers. How many 10 markers are there? You can see part A. Part A, there are 5 10 marker. Part B, there are 5 10 marker, right? So apart from that, there are 3 compulsory questions which you need to write. In all the 3, there will be 1 10 marker. So like that, 3 10 marker will also be there. So my strategy is always attempt this 10 marker first, and then this 10 marker, and each 10 markers from each of the questions that you are going to attempt. Then only and only I will enter into the 20 marker. There are a difference of opinions may be there, but I make sure that these 13 questions I will do well. So let's suppose 130 marks, right? Rest of the 120 mark. So I'll split like this. In the first 1.5 hours I spend for, or even if you spend out of 180 minutes, Out of 180 minute, I am afford to spend 100 minutes here, and I need 80 minutes only here. Okay, because this will fetch me 80% mark. 70 to 80% is for sure here. Okay, so like 70 means you will be getting around 91 to 104 mark here. Okay, and remember you're targeting 150 to 170. So this is your target in your paper 1. So now if you're getting the minimum 91, only you need 60 from this 120. Okay, so if you're targeting 150, understand it properly. If you're targeting 150, 150 in paper 1, 150 in paper 2, if you're targeting, you can get 300, and that is considered a so good mark. So if you're targeting 150, here you get 70%, and you just need how much here? 60 marks. 120, 60 mark means just 50%. So this is going to be so easy for you to get that 50%. 20 marker, getting 50% is easy, but beyond 60% is very, very difficult. Now imagine a situation that you're getting 80% here, that is 104, and 60% here, that is 72. Okay, so 104 and 72, 176 is considered as a super good mark when it comes to paper 1. So this should be a strategy. Now there are 3 different opinions with different people. Attempt the 20 markers first, because that is going to fetch you a lot of mark, but you can write the test series and you can test this strategy. If you follow this strategy, you will definitely score high than attempting 20 markers first, because when you attempt 20 markers first, the 6th 20 marker you are attempting for 120, and you will be spending this 100 minutes for that. And you know, maximum what I've told you that you're going to score is 72. So spending 100 minutes, you're scoring 72 here, but minimum here you can score 91. That makes a difference of 20 mark. 20 mark means 500 ranks. Remember this, 20 mark means 500 ranks. Okay. So okay, now let's get started with our session. So moving equilibrium. So Parsons actually gave this concept of moving. Now how will you start? The concept of moving equilibrium is given by Talcot Parsons, an American sociologist who is considered to have introduced functionalism in America in his theory of social system. So it's a wonderful starting, and we have talked about Parsons, American sociologist, introduced functionalism in America. So you have given a brief background about Parsons and in which theory this concept is proposed and what is the concept. So this much is consolidated in that single line, right? Because hardly in this single line itself I have talked about around 20 words. You can maximum go with 150 to 175 words. Understand the word limit is very important. If you write more than that, nobody have any problem. Only you will face problem in, you may have to compromise other questions. Okay, so nobody will reduce your mark or anything, but maybe you get 0.5 extra, but you have to compromise for 5 marks in some other question. So always stick to the word limit, and that you have to practice a lot. That's why I told you to write a test series, and what you need is a mentor. Okay, so who can explain where you went wrong and all those things. So this is what I'm saying. So Parsons gave this concept in his theory of social system, and you can say that brief introduction which I have told you. Parsons, a renowned sociologist, an American sociologist who is sometimes considered to have introduced functionalism in America, gave the concept of moving equilibrium in his theory of social system. Briefly, if you want to, you can talk about social system. That is not necessary. What is social system that we have discussed? We have discussed a very complicated definition, around 75 words. So this was a very complicated definition that we have done, but I've told you can explain that in a simple word also, right? Because see, consisting of plurality of individual actors interacting with each other in a situation which has at least physical or environmental aspect, actors who are motivated in terms of tendency to optimization of gratification, and whose relations to their situation, including each other, is defined and mediated in terms of system of culturally structured and shared symbols. So either you can mug it up and you can reproduce the same, or you can say social actions, okay, or if action is oriented towards others, okay, so if action is oriented towards others and are in a state of mutual reciprocity. For example, I am teaching someone, so this action is oriented towards you and you are listening to it, and that is in a state of mutual reciprocity. So this will result into a social interaction. So can we say we are in an interaction process now? Yes, we are in an interaction process. And if this interaction is mediated by certain set of common goals, do we have a common goal? Yes, I want you to pass the exam, you also want to pass the exam. So there is a common goal. Okay, are we following certain norms and values? Yes, we are following certain norms and values. I'm not sitting here and I'm not talking whatever I want to. I am only sticking to the exam, and only from exam point of view I'm talking. Okay, otherwise I can say anything in this session, especially as a sociology teacher. Whatever I wish I can tell, but we are purely sticking to the norms and values and purely sticking to the exam point, what should be written in the exam, and only that, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, it is a very professional discussion and we are following the norms and values. Norms and values, and also there is an abstract boundary around us, right? So there is a boundary around us. So if these conditions are satisfied, you can call it as a system. So this anyway we have discussed, so I'm not getting into this. This is the only difficult theory in Parsons, and if you understood this, everything is going to be very easy. So not only explaining what is system is the idea of Parsons also giving a grand theory, an evolutionary theory, that also we have discussed. So in that grand theory, he mainly addresses two questions. The two questions are the maintenance of the system, how the system is actually maintained. You can see here the maintenance of the social system, or the how the system is surviving. If we consider this as a system, how the system is maintained or how the system is surviving. Secondly, the functions fulfilled by a particular system. What is a function this particular system is actually fulfilling to the society, or what is the function which is fulfilled. So two questions: maintenance of the system, function fulfilled by the system. These two questions are answered in his theory of social system, and this theory of social system is in two parts. One is mechanism equilibrium phase, where he is answering this particular question, how the system is maintained or how the system is surviving. Second, the functional requisite phase or requisite functionalism phase, in which he is addressing this question, that is the functions fulfilled by the system. Okay, so what he's saying is how the system is maintained. That is where he's actually talking about moving equilibrium. Moving equilibrium you can explain through this diagram, simple diagram. What Parsons says is there exist certain mechanisms in society, and the role of these mechanisms are to fulfill certain roles. For example, family, religion, education, okay, the culture or the law or the police, judiciary, all these are certain mechanisms which exist in society. For everything there are certain roles. So they fulfill certain requirements for the society, they fulfill certain needs for the society. Okay, and that will bring society in an equilibrium. So society will be in an equilibrium. Now at times this equilibrium can be broken. The situation we have discussed when we discussed about cybernetic hierarchy of control just yesterday, in fact that was also uploaded in YouTube, you might have seen that video. So in that disturbance case, what will happen, there will be a feedback given and the mechanisms will act again, will bring back the equilibrium. So this is what specific mechanisms fulfill certain needs, will bring equilibrium. If there is a problem with the equilibrium, when this problem with equilibrium comes, you can see here we have discussed cybernetic hierarchy of control yesterday. So the systems are like this. The systems, action systems are not in isolation but in a continuous interaction with each other. The interaction is in the form of exchanges. Okay, energy exchange and information exchange. I've told you the organismic system is the source of energy, and the cultural system is a source of information. Information means the ideas, etc. Energy means the motivation, etc. Okay, so the flow is always there. And it should be in a balance. So you can see here the flow, energy flow and information flow from one system to other, and they keep on interacting with each other. But this flow, if it is if there is a breakage in the flow, there will be a disturbance. So we will back to this. So if the flow is broken, then the disturbance will be there, so the feedback will be given, so specific mechanisms will operate. For example, when before industrialization it was joint family. Okay, joint family was fulfilling a lot of functions, and then when industrialization came, migration was necessity. Okay, so that problem actually solved through then there was a disturbance within the system, within the mechanism. So when that disturbance was given, the feedback was given, so joint family became nuclear family and fulfill the needs and then bring back the equilibrium. Similarly, when again problems happen within nuclear family, you can say live-in relations, like that. So the change keeps on coming, especially when we discuss about modern society. This is every day the change is there. For example, this situation, earlier you used to go for coaching classes directly, okay, but now because of corona, okay, this equilibrium has broken. Now you can't do that. So what happened? The feedback is given when the disturbance was there. Specific mechanisms is acting like this video classes. I am sitting somewhere in Kerala and I am delivering the lecture to you from here, and you have access to these activities, right? So that fulfilling that needs and bring back the equilibrium. Now you are not facing any problem with respect to your studies. You are getting the better classes, the best classes rather that you can get, right? Otherwise you didn't had access to this, but now the society again maintained that equilibrium. So I hope you understood. If you see the moving equilibrium question, so how will you approach this? Parsons, the prominent American sociologist, who's considered to have introduced functionalism in America, gave the concept of moving equilibrium in his theory of social system. If you want, you can explain social system in one line, and then you can say merely giving the theory of the idea of social system was not Parsons' objective. He also gave a proper theory or a grand theory of social system. His theory is addressing two interrelated questions. First is the maintenance of the system and the functions fulfilled by the system. That is the second one. And this is addressed in two phases. First is mechanism equilibrium phase. That is nothing but your moving equilibrium concept. And then the functions fulfilled by each system. That is functional requisite. That is not important in this context. Then you talk about what is moving equilibrium, and then you draw the diagram. That in itself is sufficient. And towards the end, you also talk about cybernetic hierarchy of control. Draw that diagram also, how the equilibrium can break. This diagram also you have to bring in, and this is the concept of social change. And say this is the idea of social change. When there is a disequilibrium, when there is a breakage of equilibrium, there will be a social change. Like I've told you, joint family to nuclear family. So internet came, computers came. So what happened? The cyber crimes are increased. So the specific mechanisms will act again. So that they will solve the problem, and the system will function again, right? So all these, then when the joint family has gone, nuclear family emerged, domestic violence have increased. So domestic violence act, law, judiciary, police system, etc. getting more active, and that problem is solved. So again moving in an equilibrium. So what I'm saying is society will be always in an equilibrium. This is actually contrary to Marxian understanding. So you should be in a position to compare here Marx and Parsons. When Parsons talking about the social change, how will it happen? It is the bringing back the equilibrium is the social change. Society in an equilibrium, if there is a disturbance, then there will be a social change. But immediately society will be coming back to that equilibrium. So there is a social change here, and the way you attend the classes have also changed, and this is more comfortable also. Now you may not go for the actual coaching classes. It may not be required because you don't want to travel, you don't want to go to some other place, you don't want to rent in, or you don't want to pay for a hostel, food expenses, traveling expenses. Okay, so everything you can have access now. So that lead to a social change that bring back a new equilibrium. So this will keep on continue. This is what social change according to Parsons. To an extent, Durkheim was also talking about the same. Society in an equilibrium, there can be a temporary abnormal state, and that he explained in his pathological form. Okay, but when it comes to Marx, the solution is radical. The solution is revolution. But here, the solution is automatic. The society will automatically correct and bring back an equilibrium. When it comes to Durkheimian concept of socialism was almost similar. Durkheim says various code of conduct, code of ethics, etc. within the organization can manage a normal division of labor, okay, all those things, that abnormal situation. So the solution is actually within for Durkheim and Parsons, but change in the entire mode of production is a solution for Marx, and that will come with a revolution. So I hope you are in a position to connect all these thinkers, and we have done the discussion in such a way that you will be able to connect all the thinkers, and I'm expecting that you're already very strong in thinkers. At least we have uploaded completely the videos of Marx and Durkheim. So you might have watched that video, you might have understood a very good clarity about these thinkers and some important topics of Weber, Parsons, and now Merton, and every other chapter important topics will be uploaded, so that you can watch the videos and you will get very good knowledge about sociology, and you will not face any problem. So if the question is asked like this, these are the things that you need to write. I've told you, and towards the end you also, so two diagrams which has to come here in this question. Even though 10 marker, you can fetch mark with these two diagrams. This diagram should be there, and this diagram also should be there, because this shows the disturbance, right? If this flow, the flow, energy flow, and the information flow, if there is a change in that, if there is a disturbance in that, the break will happen, equilibrium break, and that will bring to disequilibrium. So the mechanisms will start functioning, will bring back the equilibrium to manage or maintain the same flow. So these two diagrams has to be there in your question answer, even if it is 10 marker. If it is 20 marker, we have all these diagrams I have shown you, right? This is, so all these diagrams are there if it is 20 marker, but 10 marker, this is fine. So I hope it is done. So still, if you have any doubt, I've told you, you can get in touch with me here. This is my Instagram ID and this is my Telegram channel. Join the Telegram channel. You will not only get the sociology videos, all the ethics videos, social justice videos, social issues videos, post-independence, quantitative aptitude, history, economy, almost all these videos have been done and it is there in the Telegram channel. Some of them may not be available, but most of the videos are available. Is complete in itself for your preparation. And if you want to write a formal test series or answer writing program or the mentorship program, you can directly get in touch with me through the phone number, only if you need to write a test with me. Okay, so 9790-892-697. So this is my number. You can WhatsApp or Telegram me. So see you guys. Thank you.